Joining band and being able to be a part of making that kind of music was really exciting to me. And it was something I've always wanted to do because I just always thought it was so cool that people just knew how to play instruments.
The reason I decided to join band in the first place because band seemed like a very fun thing to do. And to be honest, besides that, I didn't really think much of it. And little did I know, 5 years later, my best friends would be in it. And everyone I know, for the most part, has become family.
I also kind of wanted to. I was in band in middle school, and I kind of wanted to continue it in high school. I decided I was going to do marching band, and it has allowed me to make a lot of new, really good friends that I never would have imagined having without it. And they're all people I wouldn't trade for the world anymore. I love them.
I've learned so many life lessons in band. I've learned how to be a better musician first and foremost. I've learned how to be a better leader for my peers, and I've just learned how to be a good person in general. I've learned efficient time management skills. I've learned how to be dedicated to a certain task. Music and band in general has shaped my life and has taught me so many valuable skills that I will use for the rest of my life. I cannot thank my band experience enough for teaching me many useful things that I will forever use.
Be on time. And by be on time, I mean be early. That's the big one that I've been taught this year.
And I learned a lot about the type of person that I want to be and the type of person I want people to see in me. I've always known I wanted to be someone that people can look up to and say, that they want to be like me. Or
I've learned a lot, I've grown a lot as a leader, I feel like, and I've gotten to help kids out a lot, which has helped me.
We learned that positivity can change an entire group's perspective on something. And I think that's really a main lesson that I've learned, is that you need to be positive for everyone else, even if you are not, even if you're tired, even if you are tired or you don't want to do something. You need to do it. You need to push forward and do what you need to do for everyone else around you.
COVID's really had a gigantic impact. It's really taken away time with friends and especially putting new obstacles in the way for all the memories that we could have made together. But even though that's a gigantic obstacle, we still know as a family to get around those obstacles, and we still made so many great memories this year.
So I'm used to always going to competitions on Saturdays, having 4-hour practices, which are difficult, and then going to the competition the rest of the day. But it's definitely been different not competing and totally doing practices differently.
COVID has been really a pain. You gotta remember your masks, keep it on, especially when you're playing wind instruments. When you're done playing, you gotta flip your mask on, and also getting used to social distancing out there on the field when we're playing. You're chatting with your friends, trying to keep the distance, and
it's made it more difficult because it wasn't the same experiences as my former years. So band camp was different, and you couldn't do you had to distance and couldn't really hang out with everyone and talk as much.
COVID's changed this year a lot. No more competitions, which was a bummer, but on the bright side, we still got our football games. We now get to put on multiple different shows, which is always fun to be able to learn and play so much more. And then it's just kind of made it more difficult to go with everything, but we made our way around it, so.
COVID has made my band experience, I wouldn't say difficult, I would say different. It's made it different because we don't have the fun competition like Saturday nights. I mean, we still have the Friday night lights at the football games, but we don't have as much of an audience. It's kind of unfortunate, it's sad, But you know, we have to get through it. We can't change it. So we're just getting through it.
Yeah, I think the seniors have had it hardest with COVID because this was a season that they were looking forward to, because it would mean a year with 2 band directors in a row. And to have a pandemic just come out of nowhere and shut down everything that we love, that really hit us hard. The competitions, BOA, all that. Yeah.
I had to get put on a whole new different instrument that I didn't know how to play. That was really hard, but I'm still having fun. I'm there with my friends. It's still a good time.
In the end, I'm just happy to be able to perform at all.
My favorite memory is just hanging out in the band parking lot after practice. We're all hot and sweaty and gross.
It started pouring down rain. It was thundering.
Kind of like a moment of everything's okay, we're okay, and everything's gonna stay okay.
Choreography sword fight in Lucas Oil.
Pouring rain. And
It just made it feel so much more important. It made me realize how big this actually was and how cool it could be and how cool it was.
It really got you feeling like this could be something I can be a part of. Like, you would want to be a part of something like that.
I can't even describe it. It's so empowering.
My favorite memory, I was there with all my friends, and it was just a blast. That's my favorite memory.
That moment, we all collectively together had this big moment, and it was so beautiful despite it being nasty weather and ugly weather. And that was my favorite band moment ever.
There's nothing bad about that day. Nothing could bring me down thinking about it. It was fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of music to perform for you, so let's get started. Please direct your attention to the back of the auditorium because here come your marching Trojans! Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the 2020 East Central Marching Trojan Showcase. Now, we did want to perform outside while marching and playing, but with all the things going on, we're trying to make it work the best we can. My name is Andrew Sharp. I'm the Director of Bands here at East Central High School. Thank you so much for coming again. We have 4 shows to perform for you today. Our first show is called Exploration Mount Everest. With the following selections: Blue Skies by Ella Fitzgerald, Mount Everest by Rossano Galante, and On Top of the World by Imagine Dragons. Drum majors, Kate Meyer and Maddie Zerwelli. Is the band ready?
Going up without anyone else here is surreal. Because we're here in the fall, most people climb these mountains in the spring. It's the popular time to climb Mount Everest.
Sky smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see.
Stand by. All right, how about that one, yeah? That is a show that we have not performed for the public, other than working on it generally in class and in rehearsals for, I think, almost 2.5 months now. So the fact that your children are able to memorize and perform such intense music and memorize it for that long truly speaks to their talent. And we are all so grateful to get to teach them every single day. Our next show, you might like a little bit. It might take you back if you've been around for a while. All right, all you 70s and 80s babies, this show's for you. Let's take a step back in time to the beginning of the internet, disco, and some of the greatest legends of rock and roll. Featuring 25 or 6 to 4 by Chicago, In the Stone by Earth, Wind & Fire, and Take On Me by Aha. Drum majors, Kate Meyer and Maddie Zerweller. Is the band ready? took you back a little bit if you're from around that time. When Mr. C and I were originally thinking about how we could find a way to make this event special, we thought we had to do something modern. We had to do something for the parents. We had to do something that we would like too. And that third show is the one you're about to hear, which if you're a fan of Disney and Broadway and a little bit of Hollywood, you're definitely going to like this one the most. This is probably one of my favorites of the four. The magical world of Disney and musical theater have entertained millions and millions of people, from timeless classic movies to the sights and sounds of over 40 Broadway theaters across the United States and the world. Presenting Into the Unknown from Frozen 2, Defying Gravity from the Broadway show Wicked, and the 2017 hit that swept the United States, The Greatest Show from The Greatest Showman. Drum majors Kate Meyer and Maddie Zerweller is the band ready. saying, I left out a couple of things. And there are a couple special students that you may have heard when no one else was playing, and that was by design. There was a solo written into the first show, Exploration Everest, and that talented young gentleman is right behind me. That is senior trombone player Frank Bonnet. In the last show, you heard 3 soloists. We had a trumpet and a mellophone duet by Dylan Schutte and Kaylee Rumsey. And if you're a fan of The Greatest Showman and you've ever heard the song Never Enough, the last solo you heard at the very end, the guy playing in the stratosphere over there who's somehow still standing, Mr. John Crowley. And originally in the song, The Greatest Show, The Greatest Showman, there's a very cool sort of hip, if you will, singer that plays something that's not necessarily what you would normally hear. So that was not originally written. So I thought, well, she sings really high and she's really good. I also happen to know a young gentleman who happens to play trumpet who can play really high and also sound pretty good at the same time. So I wrote out that solo for Mr. Crawley over there, and they all did a fantastic job. And the last show that we have for you is a modern show. So if you turn on any local radio station that's not country-based, you might hear some of the top 40 songs that you're about to hear. So when we had our first original meeting with the senior class, when we were just learning that BOA was getting canceled and ISMA was getting canceled, and then we waited a little bit hoping for mid-states, and then ultimately they canceled their season 2. We sat all of the seniors, we being Mr. C and I, we sat all the seniors down and had a meeting during pre-band camp. And I opened up the meeting with, okay, here's our plan. And I spelled everything out for them. I said, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do 4 shows, and we're gonna do all these cool things, and your parents are gonna love it, and you're gonna love it. We have 3 show ideas, and we don't know the 4th. And they went, okay. That's kind of where the conversation ended. So we were awkwardly sitting there for a moment, and I didn't know what to say. Because I was expecting tears, and I was expecting crying, and all these things, and really my favorite part about the whole exchange was they all just kind of went, okay, cool. Which really makes me proud, because I cried about it, I was upset about it, and then I have these teenagers who are right in front of me who are just kind of like, yeah, okay, cool. So what do we plan? We gotta get back to rehearsal. And they took it so well. And so this last show features modern hits that the senior class picked out. So we hope you enjoy. Presenting the music of Panic at the Disco, The Weeknd, and The Marshmallow, our never-before-heard performance of our show on the radio. Drum majors Kate Meyer and Maddie Zerweller. Is the band ready?
I've been thinking, I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier.
Stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you have appreciated the talents, the time, and the dedication that these performers have put in to all of their years of marching band, concert band, whether in high school or down the hall in Mr. Rollingpotter's band not too long ago. So please, keep your round of applause going and show these performers how you really feel about them. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here, and hopefully some of you brought nose plugs as well. I'm sure your children smell a little bit different than when they left the house, but hopefully we won't keep you here too long, so we won't have to make you suffer through that. So again, everyone, thank you so much for attending tonight's banquet and performance. It was definitely not what we wanted. We wanted to perform on the turf, under the lights for you, but as we've said all year, your children are resilient, they are flexible, they are talented, and everything in between. So they made the best out of a bad situation. And just before Thanksgiving, we had approximately 40 band kids who were quarantined, not because they were sick, but because of contact tracing. So everything you just saw, from the marching in, to the performance, to the marching out, that was all coordinated in the last hour before the performance started. So again, your children are phenomenal, because all I do is get on the loudspeaker and say, do this, and they go, okay, and then they do it. And I love getting to teach them every single day. So first, before we get started and recognize our incredible children, I also want to say thank you to Dr. Andrew Jackson and Mr. Tom Black, the superintendent and principal at East Central High School. A round of applause for them, please. Without their guidance and support, we wouldn't be able to do this tonight. So we are so thankful that they have given us the opportunity to perform live for you. And for those of you watching at home, we are also equally grateful for you to join us as well. Along with the students, there is a particular group of people who teach them. It is not just me. In fact, I like to think of myself as the smallest part of what we do. And more people than I am comfortable with would admit that. So please welcome to the stage the incredible people who teach your children besides me, our 2020 marching band staff. Oh, well, this is cozy. I put on deodorant. Thank you for social distancing, everyone. So, unfortunately, there were a couple staff members who were unable to join us tonight. First being Jackie Bryce, an alumni of East Central High School, and also Danny Burns, who helps out with the percussion staff as well. A round of applause for them. They're watching at home. Now, I was going to introduce Mr. C first, because he is the assistant director, but I want to sleep in my bed tonight. So the first person I would like to introduce is our guard director and my wife, Kylie Sharp. And then I guess my right-hand man, the person who does so much work for far less than he deserves to get paid, Mr. Garrett Ciriello. And along with Jackie and Danny on our tech staff, we also have the wonderful alumni, our color guard alumni, Miss Tori Stiver. And one of the people who helps me out with the wins the most, the wonderful Miss Emily Hazelton. Emily and Tori, you are more than welcome to take your seat. Next, we have what is part of my favorite part of the event every year. And we have some very, very cute and funny awards. That was a tradition that was started before I arrived called the Paper Plate Awards. They are meant to be encouraging and fun. So first, with the Percussion Paper Plate Awards, I would like to introduce Mr. C.
Good evening. So real quick, I would just really like to thank Mr. Sharf, Andrew, for trusting me to be here, working with these kids. Through him in the school, allowed me to be here every day, teaching in front of the high school kids and all of the middle school kids, and it has just been really, really awesome to start a new tradition here and get stuff going in the percussion world. So for our marching band, things were a little different this year, obviously. We have half of our kids that usually like to play front ensemble equipment, mallets and everything. And we have battery kits. And this year with COVID and everything, we weren't really able to do that. So half the kids that were playing on the drums had never really played those types of instruments in their high school, their marching band career. And it was just really special that they were able to push through and do that. We had some arguments and some fights, but we got through it, and I think that we all still came out being able to do something really cool. So I would like to thank all of the percussionists just for doing that with me. I'm sorry, but it was really cool. Thank you. So the first award that I would like to give out was kind of a running remark every rehearsal. This award goes to, or is for, the best visual technique while wearing non-regulated and non-approved jeans. And that goes to Moses, because he would not wear shorts or sweatpants. Okay. He's coming. Every day we would be at rehearsal and he'd have those jeans on, and I would say, you probably can't move as well in your jeans. But he would do it regardless of temperature, whether it was 100 degrees or 30 degrees. Thank you, Moses. Okay. So the next one, with some of the kids not being super pumped about the instruments that they were on, I kept having to find ways to keep them engaged and excited to be there. So we established a point system. And it was from everything from just being on time, to not dropping the stick, to remembering to, go back to set, or anything. Big things, small things. The points range from -100 to like 10,000. I don't know. But I promise, after lots of tallying and counting, we have a winner of the percussionist with the most percussion points of the season. And that goes to Miss Michaela Houseworth.
Okay, as she makes her way down, I would like to reintroduce my lovely and wonderful wife to give the Color Guard Paper Plate Award. So please help me welcome Miss Kylie Sharp.
Sorry about that. Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to the Color Guard. I don't think everyone realizes how incredibly hard it is to learn as many routines as they have. And on top of it, they typically only had maybe a day or two to learn all the work they were given. They were learning on the fly, and they're being very flexible this season. So just a quick shout out to you guys. Yeah, you can clap. Okay, so the first award is called the Perfect Child. Her parents might not agree, but this was based off her randomly admitting during rehearsal that she is perfect. Granted, she does do show choir, guard, drama, and I think she's also talking about doing track. Not to mention the girls named one of their sections of work after her, known as the Amber. So, the Perfect Child Award goes to Amber Sillis. Our last award, so every guard girl does something different with their arms under a toss. Some might keep both their arms at the side, some might have one hand up, some might have one hand down. However, we have one girl who does something known in the Color Guard world as T-Rex arms. One of our members has the habit of doing this with her arms under her solo toss. So the T-Rex Award goes to Allison Davis.
Oh boy, okay. I love my awards. These are the, well, one of them is different, but one I give every year, regardless of what banquet I am at. And my favorite award to give is the Two Left Feet Award. We have a lot of talented and fun and motivated kids. And sometimes, even though they are motivated, it takes them a while to get it. And I was excited with how green this person was at the beginning of the season. I was excited about them doing marching band, and they're talented. They're great. They're fun to work with. But he didn't get it for a while. And either by the grace of the good Lord, or he just figured it out at some point, I am so grateful to offer the 2020 Two Left Feet Award, because he finally figured it out at some point, to Mr. Ben Peterson. And in case you haven't done your Christmas shopping, I'm sure Home Depot has plenty of frames for all of these paper plates. All of the artwork is mine. I will take commissions. I will do whatever you need to do. Just ask. Okay, the next one I am so excited to give, because I have known this person for a little bit longer than I've been the band director here. And seeing him about 3 years ago when he walked into a rehearsal as a very, very young, very green, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, little baritone player at another group that I work with called the Cincinnati Tradition Drum and Bugle Corps. He was scared, and he had no idea what he was doing for most of it, and that's okay. And as he's aged, I think you already know who it is, and as he has aged, he has gotten increasingly bigger, both as a person and as a player, and his decibel level has increased significantly as a maturing young adult. So, the 2020 Sound Check Award goes to Mr. Ryan Fox. Please give him another round of applause, because he deserves it. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is one more group of people I would like to thank and give recognition for, because the hours and the things that they have put into this band program are not measurable. The hours, the dedication, all of the ups and downs, and a global pandemic that almost took away their senior marching band season. Seniors, can you please join me on the stage? There is tape. Please feel free to social distance. And as they fight over where they're going to stand, never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Every single one. Hello, gentlemen. Okay, I'm going to get a little smaller. Every single one of these seniors has endured something that no other class in the history of the world, not for 100 years, has had to endure. And in the age that we live in now, in a technology-based, ever so quickly retrieving information world, these fine young men and women have done everything they can to make the best out of it. And as many times as you have heard the phrase, kids these days, if this is the future of the world, I think we are in great hands. Please recognize them with me. I think they deserve a little bit more applause than that. Seniors, so that I may enjoy my personal space and your families can smell you again, please join your families once more. Thank you so much. In closing, thank you all again so much for your attendance tonight, whether in person or at home, whether in the stands or from the couch or from social media, to walking in the band office and telling me how proud you were of the kids. Thank you for your support and your continued support for not just me, but the young men and women who are here tonight. These children and your families are the primary reason for success of this band program, and they always will be. The staff is so grateful every year to be blessed to get to work with your children, whether they are here for every rehearsal or whether they are not. The moments that we spend with your children, we cherish forever because we love them and we love getting to work with them. So thank you for allowing us to teach your children not only music, but life lessons as well. And as I said before, the future of the world, if these are the children that are about to take it over in just a short number of years, whether seniors now or seniors in a few years, I think the world is going to be in good hands. There is not a single day that goes by where I am not 100,000% grateful to teach you, the wonderful students at East Central High School, and get to also speak and collaborate with our wonderful booster board and all of the parents at home as well. I could keep saying thank you, but I think I've said it quite a bit, so I'll move on. Each and every time that the band has come off the field from a performance, whether this year or last year, as I have been their band director, the first thing I always ask the band, color guard, brass, woodwinds, percussion, the first thing I ask them is how they think they did. Because ultimately, I have an exhaustive laundry list of things I could tell them that I thought could have been better, or we should have done this, or we should have done that. But at the end of the day, the way they feel after a performance is what matters most. Whether it's tears, because it's the last one for so many of our seniors tonight, or it's the freshmen who have now been indoctrinated into our wonderful band family and had no idea 4 months ago what this would be like. They truly are amazing. We always preach 3 things to your children. Love who you are, love what you do, and most importantly, love each other. Because we will not remember a score or a trophy in 10 years. Even next year, maybe. Or 20 years from now. What they are going to remember are the times that they spent in the sweltering July heat, in the freezing November and December weather, preparing for BOA, or even just this showcase. I do not have any children at home. I have 3 wonderful dogs, Roman, Snow, the newest addition to our family, who I've told many stories about, and Lucy. So knowing that I don't have any children at home, being a teacher gives me a sort of fulfillment that I genuinely appreciate, because hundreds of band families come through this band program, and you trust me with your children. And there is not a second that goes by that I am not grateful for that. So again, from the bottom of my heart and the staff's heart, thank you for trusting us to teach your children. We are eternally grateful. Thank you for the applause break. I needed to choke back my tears. Moving on. Now more than ever, I promise every person here tonight, every person here watching us from home on the live stream, I promise you a few things. I will continue, and so will the staff, to make sure that your children feel more welcome, appreciated, loved, and the most important, safe within the walls of East Central High School and the four walls of our band hall. So, Marching Trojans, for the last time this year, please rise and do the thing. Thank you for your time, your dedication, and everything you have given to us. Have a great night, and please drive safe. Thank you.